Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. In this video, we will be discussing harf al-ra. It's a pretty simple letter, however can be difficult due to the lack in proper angulation. This is one of those letters that relies heavily on the angle you hold the pen. If you hold it in the correct angle, this should be super easy. If you hold it in the wrong angle, you're gonna have a weird looking ra. And it's one of those things that is hard to fix once you make the mistake. So we'll be addressing that in a second after I talk about some points I missed in the previous video on harf al-jim and ha al-kha. What I wanted to mention is the fact that harf al-jim and ha al-kha is one of the four letters in the Arabic alphabet that go under the line or below the line. Everything else rests on the line, as for instance you see in harf al-ra, it rests on the line, doesn't go below it. These are the letters in the Arabic alphabet: jim, ha, mim, ayn, and ha. These four go under the line, and we'll discuss how with each one of them. As for the actual shape, I wanted to show you guys the shape in a drawn form so that you're able to see where it overlaps. So how that preparatory curve helps you to start and go on to the second portion, and there's that overlap to assist you. It's not the most accurate, but I wanted to demonstrate it so that it's a little better understood than in the actual form of writing it. This dotted red line is where the baseline would be for writing. So for instance, if we did harf al-ra over here, it would end over here. And if we did harf al-jim ha, it would like go below the line to continue down here. And this black line is just to demonstrate that it's a somewhat of a curve and then ends going up. It goes down straight and then a little bit up. And it's about 1 nuqta under the line. So for instance, assume you don't know where to start so you can end in the right position. You can take the line that you have and estimate 2 nuqtas going up, and that's going to be your starting point for harf al-jim ha. So you can take 1, 2 and then move to the side, and you can begin with harf al-jim ha, and that should end you with 1 nuqta under the line. Back to harf al-ra. The motions are simple. It is a drag down and out about a nuqta. So down and out, and you only want to go down as far as a nuqta. And then the length of it is 2 nuqtas. Some describe it as 2 nuqtas and a half, but it's usually just 2 nuqtas. The first portion, as you can see, is using the pen, so you go down and out, and then you stop and you draw in the rest, and this is the portion you fill in as you see in the following. Another thing I'd like to point out is that some people explain harf al-ra as being similar to half of a leaf. So if you think of it, there's like this other half to the leaf, and this is just for decoration purposes. Okay. Let us begin with the first stroke for harf al-ra. We want to go down and out as follows. And you can see how the angle plays a big role in this. Then the rest of it is just a drawn portion where you just take the tip and you extend it like that. And then you want to bring it back as follows. Small adjustments that could be made is over here. You can straighten out the curve a little bit, smoothen out the rough edges, make it a little more round on the outside. Typically, you don't need to, or if you get really good at doing harf al-ra, you don't need to adjust it as much. But in the beginning, adjusting is always nice, and it helps you correct the mistakes you made. There is a technique that some use I don't like using it because it ruins your letter and puts you at risk for ruining the entire piece. And that's what is known as a خطفة, right? إنك تخطف الحرف. The idea is that when you get to this point of stopping, you twist and you turn really quick, and that gives you like this slash that you can just end up filling out again. So some people use it. I don't like to use it because it puts you at risk of ruining the letter, and I think it's much easier to just stop the letter and then just draw the whole thing. It's a much safer technique and can guarantee you the safety of your letter and your piece of work. Notice how if I change this angle, حرف الراء would come out either thick in the beginning. So if I started off like this, you're going to notice that the beginning portion is going to be super thick, and you're not going to have this nice slim head and then this slim body over here. If I started too vertical like that, I'm going to have like this weird looking shape for حرف الراء. Again, a thick head and a thick body, and it's just not going to look weird. So this is one of those letters where the angulation is key to achieving the perfect ra. Again, this is one نقطة. This is two نقطة right here. You can see how the نقطة and a half explanation is when you're including this little slash over here. It's not huge, right? But the body is two نقطas for sure. And the last thing is that it rests on the line and does not go below the line. That is it for حرف الراء. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment in the description. I will try to answer them as much as possible, and you can email me if you have any further questions. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.